This is Dr. D. Govardhan, Professor and Head, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad. Today topic, application of friction, simple screw jack. The screw jack generally used for lowering heavy loads or lifting heavy loads by applying comparatively smaller effort. The principle on which the screw jack generally, it is in the form of inclined plane. The load is moving along the inclined plane by applying the load in horizontal directions. The main parts of the simple screw jack are square threaded nut. It is fitted into a nut which is the integral part of the body of the screw jack. The head of the screw jack consists of 4 holes in order to fit the lever for rotating clockwise direction or anti-clockwise directions, for lifting the load or lowering the load. At the top of the head of the nut, it consists of thrust collar, which enables related rotary motions between the load and the screw. The load is applied at the end of the lever, the P1, to lift the load of W by rotating in clockwise directions. The principles involved in screw jack is an inclined plane, and if the load is moving along it, the load is applied in horizontal directions with respect to the ground level. Now one thread of the lead screw, when it is developed and kept on a plane, it is in the form of inclined plane, having helix angle is equal to alpha as shown in figure. Since the horizontal distance is the pi d, the circumference of the circle, the distance moved by the screw into the nut for one complete revolution is called pitch. Hence, the helix angle is given by tan alpha is equal to P by pi d. Let d be the diameter of the screw, alpha is the helix angle, P is the effort applied at the circumference of the screw for lifting the load, W is the load to be lifted, and mu is the coefficient of friction between the screw and nut. Hence, according to the relations now becomes mu is equal to tan pi, where mu is equal to coefficient of friction, pi is the friction angle. And from the figure, tan alpha is equal to small p divided by pi d, where small p is representing the pitch of the screw and d is the diameter of the screw. Now we are considering the body is moving up the plane by the application of the load in horizontal directions. Now I am representing the forces which are acting on it. One is the weight is acting W in vertically downward directions. It can be resolved into 2 components, W sin alpha and W cos alpha. The W sin alpha is always tends to slide the body in downward directions. It is also called sliding force. W cos alpha is perpendicular to the inclined plane, and it is supporting to balance the vertical reaction. Since the force is applied in horizontal, and resolving this force into 2 components along the plane and the perpendicular plane. The perpendicular to the plane is treated as here P sin alpha, and the component of P along the plane is given by P cos alpha, which is tends to slide the body in upward directions. Since the body tends to move downward upward directions, the frictional force is acting downward directions, and the body is under equilibrium of several forces such as weight of the body, force P applied, normal reactions and friction force. Hence, by applying equation of equilibrium such as sigma fx is equal to 0 and sigma fi is equal to 0. And resolving the forces along the plane, the forces which are acting in upward direction are treated as positive, that is toward the right side, and the forces toward the left side are treated as negative. Since the body is in equilibrium position, the sum of the component of forces which are acting towards the right side is equal to the sum of the component of forces which are acting towards the left side. Hence, P cos alpha, that is a positive toward the right side, which is equal to W sin alpha, it is a sliding force acting downward directions, and friction force F is always acts in opposite direction in which the body tends to slide. Hence, the equation now becomes, on resolve the forces along the plane, P cos alpha is equal to W sin alpha plus F, W sin alpha plus F is equal to mu R N, where mu is representing coefficient of friction between the body and sliding surface, Rn is representing normal reactions. Here we represented this equation as 1. Similarly, on resolving the forces perpendicular to the plane, the normal reaction is acting upward directions, and W cos alpha, it is a component of weight which is resolved perpendicular to the plane, W cos alpha acting downward directions. The component of applied force, P sin alpha, also acting downward directions. Hence, N is equal to, the normal reaction is equal to P sin alpha plus W cos alpha. The substituting values of N from equation number 2 in 1, we got P cos alpha is equal to W sin alpha mu into N is equal to P sin alpha plus W cos alpha. On simplifications, we got W sin alpha plus mu P sin alpha plus mu cos alpha. Since mu is representing coefficient of friction, which is also equal to tan pi, and substituting tan pi is equal to sin pi by cos pi, we got P is equal to W into sin alpha plus tan pi cos alpha divided by cos alpha minus tan pi sin alpha. Again, tan alpha is equal to sin alpha by cos alpha. And substituting these values, we got W into sin alpha cos pi plus sin pi cos alpha divided by cos alpha cos pi minus sin pi sin alpha. According to the trigonometric relations, sin alpha cos pi plus sin pi cos alpha is equal to sin alpha plus pi divided by cos alpha plus pi, which is also equal to cos alpha cos pi minus sin pi sin alpha, which is equal to W into tan alpha plus pi. That means the effort which is applied on a body to move the body along the plane in upward directions is given by W into tan alpha plus pi. So the total torque to overcome the friction between the screw and nut is given by T1 P into D by 2. Since the turning force is applied at the circumference of the circle, hence force into distance is required, and so we are taking P into D by 2, which is also equal to W into tan alpha plus pi into D by 2 now. But the load is acting over the thrust column. In order to overcome the frictions between the load as well as the thrust column, we have to consider the friction force which exists between the load and the column, which is given by T2 is equal to mu1 into W into R1 plus R2 divided by 2 now, where mu1 is representing the coefficient of friction between the column and the load. R is equal to mean radius of the column, which is equal to R1 plus R2 by 2. And T2 now becomes mu1 into W into R1 plus R2 by 2, which is also equal to W1 into WR2. Since the total torque required to overcome the friction of between the sliding body and the surface and the column, which is equal to the sum of the T1 plus T2, which is equal to P into D by 2 plus mu into W R1. Since the effort is applied at the end of the lever which is having length L, and so the total rod required to overcome the friction must be equal to the torque applied at the end of the lever, which is equal to T equal to P1 into L by 2, which is also equal to P into D by 2 plus mu1 into W R Now from this relations, the total torque, now when the body tends to slides in downward directions, that is the frictional force is acting in opposite directions, that is in upward directions, the equation now becomes T1 is equal to P into D by 2 plus, which is equal to W into tan pi minus alpha into D by 2 now. When pi is less than alpha, then T1 is equal to, we can written as P into D by 2 plus W into tan alpha minus pi now. The efficiency of a screw jack. The efficiency of a screw jack is defined as the ratio of ideal effort, that is there is no friction between the sliding bodies, to the actual effort when we are considering the friction between the contact surfaces as well as the collar. Hence, the effort required to lift the body when the friction is taken into account is given by P equal to W into tan alpha plus pi. This is the equation which is as 1, where P is equal to that effort applied at the circumference of the screw, W is equal to weight that is acting, alpha is the helix angle, pi is the coefficient of angle of friction. When there is no friction between the contact surfaces, the effort which is applied is treated as ideal effort, that is the friction is equal to 0, which is given by P equal to W into tan alpha. Hence, efficiency is defined as the ratio of ideal effort to the actual effort, which is equal to P naught divided by P, which is also equal to W into tan alpha divided by W into tan alpha plus pi now. Or it is also equal to tan alpha divided by tan alpha plus pi, which is shown in figure equation number 3 now. The above equation is representing the efficiency of a screw jack is not at all depending on the load applied as well as the torque applied at the end of the lever or at the circumference of the screw. It is purely depends upon the angle of friction. When we are considering the friction between the body and the collar, then the effort is given by, total effort is given by P into D by 2 plus V1 into W into R. Hence, the efficiency of the screw jack is given by ideal effort divided by the total effort that is applied to overcome the frictions between the screw and nut and the collar, which is given by P dot into D by 2 divided by P into D by 2 plus V1 into WR. It is given in the equation number. Okay, some more definitions also are required in determining efficiency of a screw jack. One is the mechanical advantages. It is generally represented as MA. It is ratio of weight lifted to the effort applied. Here W is the effort that is lifted is by using the screw jack by applying an effort P at the circumference of the screw, and so the ratio of W by P is treated as mechanical advantage mathematically. The velocity ratio. The velocity ratio is the distance moved by the effort to the distance moved by the load, and it is expressed mathematically y by x. Y is equal to the distance moved by the effort, which is equal to 2 pi L, where L is equal to length of the lever and For 1 revolutions, the distance moved by the lever is equal to 2 pi L. The weight lifted is equal to the pitch of the screw now. Hence, the velocity ratio is given by 2 pi L divided by P. It is also equal to 2 pi L divided by P equal to tan alpha, product of tan alpha into pi d now. Because P is equal to, we are having tan alpha is equal to P by pi d. On simplifications, we got to velocity ratio is equal to 2L divided by tan alpha into d now, where d stands for the diameter of the screw. Mathematically, the efficiency of the screw jack is also defined as the ratio of mechanical advantage to the velocity ratio. By using these equations, we got mechanical advantage is equal to W by P divided by velocity ratio is equal to 2 pi L divided by P now. Okay, this is another method to determine the efficiency of a screw jack. The maximum efficiency of a screw jack. The efficiency of a screw jack is equal to, already we derived in the previous equation as tan alpha divided by tan alpha plus pi, where alpha stands for helix angle, pi representing limiting angle of friction. So, this modified equation is tan alpha is equal to sin alpha by cos alpha. Similarly, tan alpha plus pi is equal to sin alpha plus pi divided by cos alpha plus pi. On simplifications, we got sin alpha cos alpha plus pi divided by cos alpha into sin alpha plus pi. Since it is in the form of sin A cos B, which is also equal to sin A plus B plus sin A minus B. Okay, according to the relations, we got to 2 sin alpha into cos alpha plus pi is equal to sin of A plus B alpha plus pi plus sin A minus B alpha minus pi now, divided by again 2 cos alpha sin alpha plus pi is equal to sin alpha plus pi minus of sin alpha plus pi minus alpha, which is on simplifications we got to sin 2 alpha plus pi minus sin pi divided by sin 2 alpha plus pi plus sin pi. In order to get the maximum efficiency of a screw jack, we require sin 2 alpha plus pi is equal to 1 required, or 2 alpha plus pi is equal to 90 degrees, or which is also equal to 2 alpha equal to 90 minus pi, or alpha is equal to 45 degrees minus pi by 2 now. Substituting the values of 2 alpha in equation number 2, where we are having, we got the maximum efficiency, which is equal to sin of 90 minus pi plus alpha minus sin pi divided by sin 90 minus pi plus sin pi, which is equal to 1 minus sin pi divided by 1 plus sin pi.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.